Today we're going branding strategy, video, defining what's a real win look like for business. So I'm Monico, one of the owners of Inceptions Media, and everything for us is content, so we got the other owner over there. So, he's filming it. We're about to see how it does, right? So a little bit about me, I'll tell you guys, so that way you guys know where I'm coming from, know a little bit about my background. I worked in construction for 13 years. I was like, when I was 5, I started like her. But the last 5 years, I've been more just on the marketing side. So I know a lot of like the manual labor of what it is for like blue collar jobs, and then the marketing side. And what we've learned is that most businesses are really good at what they do, but the marketing and how to get more business, how to get more known, that's where the really challenges, they start. 5 years ago, I've been on the more marketing side, and that's what we launched Inceptions Media. My parents, they've been in business for over 20 years, so we kind of knew the whole thing of businesses, but Inceptions Media started to be able to help empower small business owners to be able to change, the route of the future for businesses. We have a podcast from the Inceptions branch. It's the Inceptions podcast. We've got over 500,000 views just on YouTube alone. That's not alone, just TikTok and Instagram, and that's a whole different number. So you gain a lot of experience after doing so much behind the camera doing that. We launched another business, 3C Construction. Since I've been in construction for 13 years, and knew pretty much all the ins and outs of that. 3C Construction that specializes in residential and commercial concrete. We launched that in February 2025. So we got a business partner on that. So 3C stands for the Three Carrillos. So it's Merle, wherever Merle's go into business with family. That's a good one. But so we launched that, and it's been going great so far. Over 2,300 videos we filmed. So you learned a lot. You learned a lot what not to do and what to do, but more of what not to do. You just got to put yourself out there. It's kind of awkward, just getting the phone and start recording or doing videos, whatever it is. But it's just part of the game. You just kind of have to put yourself out there. Always test new things and just go through it. So some key points that I want to go through with you guys today. What does a win really look like? What's a win look like for business? Because if we don't have that really defined, what it is, then it's going to be hard to even make a video, brand yourself, or market yourself. It's going to be very complicated. So first of all, what does a win look like? Branding versus marketing. A lot of people, we get that confused when we're starting our business. We think it's the same thing. If you tangle them both together, you got a winner, but the thing is really defining which is which and where you got to be. Power of video. Everything that we do goes around the video. So whether it's for your website, social media, whatever marketing type stuff you're doing, we go around with video because it's the best way to be able to connect with the audio, music, and what you say. Common mistakes, that's the one that we've learned the most around. It's something that's tough when you go through it, but it's something you at least know what not to do now. It's hard learning experiences. We're gonna give you a couple strategies to run through and be able to see, 90-day strategy to be able to see what you can do for your business, just to try some stuff out. Start experimenting some stuff. Don't get too in the weeds of stuff. Got a big ask for you guys. We like to ask a lot of questions while we learned that from the podcast and stuff, so challenge yourselves. That's gonna be a couple of things. My job here today is to kind of get your wheels turning on what to do, implement something different. You don't have to revamp your whole business and throw everything out, but just think about some stuff of what you could do a little bit different. So, question, would you trust your brand if you were a stranger? If you're a random stranger that ran into that brand company, whatever you guys do, would you trust it? Would you hire yourself? And whatever you do video, you do marketing, whatever, you cameras, would you hire yourself? If a stranger goes to your website, will they fully understand what you guys do? Depending what stage you're at, maybe you don't even got a website, but maybe you got social media. If they go to your social media, to be like, okay, this is what they stand for, this is who they are. Can you explain your business in one sentence? That's probably one of the toughest ones. What does a win look like? Depending where you're at, where you want to go with business, that's going to be a big defining thing of what a win looks like. What's your version of success? Because for your business personally, and then for your business like as a business. Because the best way to be able to get them, you kind of have to intertwine them, because like they were saying earlier, you're married with your business partner, you're married with your business, so you got to really define what's a win look like on that, and define success. Does it mean more sales? If you got more sales, you're going to have more money coming in, which means you probably got more expenses going out, which means you probably need to hire a CPA now, which you need an accountant. So what success look like? Because every step, every tier comes with new problems, right? More money. Philosopher once said, more money, more problems. So that's a very interesting one, for sure. More views. Since we do video, like, do you want more views? What if you get a video that's gets 10,000 views, gets you 0 clients, you get one with 100 views and gets you 2 clients? What do you prefer? Do you want to be an influencer, or do you want to have an influence and create a business? So it's just kind of really balancing those out of what looks like a win, or having to get a lot of views with a lot of business would be the best, but kind of just balance it out and see what's the best, right? More money. That one's up there twice, because if your business ain't making money, you're not in business. Like, to be a little brutal honest with that one. Do you want to hire employees? Like we're talking about HR and stuff, comes with a lot of problems. If that's a goal that you have, if that's a version of success for your business, what does that look like? What steps do I have to be able to take to be able to get to that spot? Recognition. Do you just want to be recognized, say in the community, get an award or something with it? Or just be known as you're on social media, you're an influencer, everybody knows you? That could be a version of success. But it all goes around of what's a win look like? Because if I don't know what a win looks like for your business, if you don't know what a win looks like for your business, then if I'm creating a video for you, you're trying to create a video for yourself, it's going to be really complicated to know what do we even say in the video, right? Branding versus marketing. This is probably one of my favorite. Me, personally, you're always going to see me pretty much like this. I've upgraded my closet a little bit. I got polos now. They used to be just t-shirts, but they're all mainly black. All black, and I got hats. I upgraded, I got a colored hat too. But mainly what I wear is like this. So your brand is who you are. How you walk, how you talk, how you speak, your vehicles, your business cards, whatever you have. Like for me, most of the time, I'm wearing something about like our business, Inceptions, or 3C. It's either or, it's one of those two that I'm always wearing. And so it's like, it's just really who you are. After us doing so much 2,300 videos and so much over 120 episodes of podcasts, an hour long each, it's kind of hard to hide like who you are. It's just going to kind of come out. And so branding is who you are. Marketing is how you tell people who you are, whether it's through your website, whether it's through video, whether it's like flyers. We do a lot on the digital side, but that doesn't mean you have to just like not do flyers, not do radio, or whatever it is. Whatever industry you're in, like you might be, if you're roofers, what they do is door knock. So it just really depends on where you're at, and not just close yourself to one avenue. Have multiple different avenues, test it, see where you get more influx, more business, and then hone in on that. Some of the big differences right here for branding: builds loyalty, long term. You're not gonna build it overnight. For us, people kind of a little bit. I don't know how much you guys know about Inceptions, about us, but been around for 5 years, and a lot of people still don't know who we are. So you're playing the long game. That's the hardest thing, because you're doing it over and over and over, and you feel like the gauge isn't moving. But then out of nowhere, it starts moving a little bit, and it just changes your image. Pretty much like I said, how you dress, how you look, how your logo looks, it starts getting recognized different places and stuff like that. Widens your audience, because one of the reasons that I like to wear the merch always is because, say you go to Walmart, Target, wherever you guys go, to the grocery store, and you run into somebody, they don't know who you are, you just run into them, they see your logo, cool. And then they just leave it at that. And then later you run into them again. And then people will just start recognizing the logo, the name, but it's not gonna happen overnight. It's like the 7, 10, 12 rule. 7 times for somebody to see something, 10 times for them to acknowledge it, and 12 times for them to purchase. And it sucks, but most of us fall off around the 2 or 3 mark. So we don't even get to the 7. People didn't even know, sadly, who we kind of are, but it's just repetition. You need a strategy. Like what's your brand? What's your mission statement? What do you want to be known for? You got to put some strategy, like write it down, because once you you put it out there, it's out there pretty much, especially on the video stuff. Creates recognition. Again, people are going to start seeing who you are everywhere you go, hopefully. And hopefully it's the good kind of recognition. On the marketing, you can target your customers way more. It's a short-term thing. You got their attention, but why are they going to stick around? So that's more of a short-term thing, not so much of a long-term thing. Of course, you need tactics, because if you're going to spend marketing dollars on something, you need to have a strategy on how to go about it, right? Target your audience. Who's your avatar? You need to have your avatar, who you're going to go for, like with them, with the cameras. You guys got your, this is our avatar. Okay, let's hone in on that. And you kind of need to just zero in on that. Of course, tactics. You need some tactics with it, and it creates leads. Our motto with us at Inceptions Media is planting seeds, getting leads. I got it on my necklace. We got it everywhere we go. So we're planting the seed in the customer's mind to get you the lead. Our job is just to get you the lead, and then your guys' job is to make the sale. Personal branding, my favorite. If you have a weak brand, you're gonna 10 times harder, and it's gonna be way more expensive, because what are you really marketing? If you have a product, but it doesn't have any really significance behind it, or a service, then what are they really, buying? They might make a purchase once, but are they going to be a recurring customer for you? Your business, I believe, can be duplicatable. Any business, I think, can be duplicatable, but you can't be duplicatable, because you're you. You're brand authenticity. So leverage that. Once you intertwine those two, leverage that, because that's something that you can't duplicate. And again, what are your customers really buying from you? Are they just buying that service, just a one-time thing, or are you going to build them into a recurring, retaining customer over and over and over? Why does all this even matter? Because strong brands attract, weak brands chase. That's the thing. That's why in the business world you always get the thing of you get burnt out, because you're always chasing your next dollar, and you get really tired of it. Once you bring a brand, hopefully they're chasing you. Hopefully, because you don't owe money, but they're chasing you. Your branding's gonna save you a bunch of money on ads, marketing, recruitment. Us personally, recruitment is one that's really underestimated, because people just make, say if you just do videos and put them out there and that's it, for business, but then people, after so much content and videos and stuff that you put out there, people are gonna start seeing who you are and how you guys interact, how's the company culture, all that, and people are gonna start trying to be part of the company, try to get a job with you guys. Us personally, on us for Inceptions and 3C, we get messages all the time of people that want to work with us, and I think it's just because they see it so much time, and they're just oh, some of them were not their cup of tea, and that's fine too. But a lot of them, they'll start seeing how they are, be like, hey, I want to work with these guys. Looks like they're doing cool stuff. So one of the hardest things right now that we've seen just across businesses in general is recruiting and retaining people. So just have content of your company culture so people can see what that is. You'll save huge money. We've seen more returns for clients having putting content out there, spending on that, than just say on Indeed or ZipRecruiter and all of those. Because they actually see who you are and what you stand for. So it's pretty much gonna weed the fat a little bit of who's really gonna come with you guys on the journey. Transitioning, video marketing. You build trust quickly. Once you're talking so much on video, people are gonna be like, hey, I resonate with that person. I'm a mom with kids or whatever you guys do. I resonate with it, okay. Humanize your brand. Show the person behind the business. We all have great businesses. We're in business because we think we're good at what we do, right? So it's just show them, we're going through struggles. Up here, that was awesome. Everyone kind of giving their story of the struggles they're going to. Everyone goes through struggles, and if they tell you they don't go through struggles, they're lying. So that's a red flag. So everyone goes through it. Just some talk about it more than others, but humanize yourself. It shows, it just doesn't tell. When you're doing video, you can actually show the process of how you're doing something. You're not just telling them come buy this. If you don't know somebody randomly just comes up to you hey, give me money for this. You're who are you? What do you sell? Why should I buy from you? right? But most times we do that with our business. They have no idea who we are and we just want them to buy something. It's kind of egotistical, I think, you know? Getting started. Done is better than perfect. Start simple. Most people, they're like, I'm gonna make a video, it's gonna get 10 views, no one's even gonna care. In reality, the video's probably not gonna be that great, so it's probably a blessing in disguise that nobody saw it. And the only way you're gonna get better is the more you keep doing it. Like I said, our videos are still up on YouTube somewhere 5 years ago, and they're rough. We left them up there for a reason, to show people, we just gotta get started, we just gotta do it. It's rough, it kind of sucks, but you just kind of have to leave it out there because it's the process. Because then people will humanize you, they'll be like, oh, I see where they're coming from, I was just like that. Top videos to create, that's probably one of the biggest things we get questions, is like, okay, I'm kind of bought in on the video thing. Where do I even start? You know? The best first video I think every business should have is a brand video. Is talking about who you are, what you do, and why someone should purchase from you, whether it's a product or service. And that video is gonna change over time. It's not like you made one and then it's set in stone forever. Like, you might update it in 6 months, and that's okay. You might change your mind a little bit about how you're going about things, that's fine. But a brand video, people need to know who you are, what you do, and why you're the person for them. Testimonials. Nothing better in business to have other people talking good about you. So if you get other people be like, hey, this was my experience with them. Hopefully they're good testimonials, right? But this was my experience with them. You guys should check them out because they helped me. I had these problems. And then it humanizes the company again, right? Testimonials is one of the best ways, you know, to get them. You can run them on ads or just your website when people are seeing more about you guys. The testimonials, the Google reviews, it's pretty much a Google review in a video format. Behind the scenes. Just how you make something. The brewery over here, say you're showing someone how you're serving a beer, how you're putting the oven pizza, like all that stuff. People just like to see the process of how it is. Or the process of like when they jump on buying your service. Like, okay, we're gonna go through this is how it is, this is how we usually do it. People are gonna be like, okay. The service, like explainer videos too. Just telling people how you do stuff. If you're in the food industry, showing them how you make a platter, whatever service it is, like how it looks on site. Us, we're in construction too, so it's like how it looks on site from when they hire you to when you quote them out, to when you're doing the walkthrough, to when you're doing the project, till it looks completely done. And again, I know it's very tough, and it's like very subconscious. I'm a little subconscious too. That's why Erick just edits. I'm just like, just run them, just go. But yeah, it's a little bit out there. You just have to put yourself out there a little bit and just show people the process. So this weekend, it was the Kentucky Derby. We had a race. I'm a marketer by night and a jockey by day. It's just that I gained like 50 pounds over in 2 days. But in all seriousness, so Kentucky Derby was this last weekend. I was able to be a jockey on one of the races here for the MCDC event out here that we had. It was awesome. I left Shadow at home. But with it, this is one of my most favorite analogies. You're in the race. Who's the most important person in the race? This is a metaphor of like business. So who's the most important person like in the business? It just kind of gets you.
The horse.
The horse, yeah. So one of them is a jockey. The jockey would be you, the operator. The other one is the horse. It's the industry you're in. And I used to have those two for a while. Like the industry you're in, the operator, the jockey, and the horse. But lately, as I was doing my trainings this past weekend, I added another one. Or is it the trainer? Because the trainer's training the horse, and he's training the jockey. So who would be more important? Like me, I was a jockey this week, and Travis cut me off, and I got 4th place. So I'm not that fast. But the whole thing is that you have your head down and you're just going straight in it. And that's how we're sometimes in business. We're just in the day-to-day grind, going to it. You don't have time to be like, you're marketing or hiring people. You're just going through it. And then sometimes you just need something. It could be something so simple like, hey, have you ever thought of doing just this little tweak? And that little tweak, boom, can just turn business into, you know, just start skyrocketing. But sometimes if we don't get that person to point it out for us, that's the thing. And then we have to be open to it once they do, once they do tell us of like, hey, have you ever tried this? We got to be open to that as well, because got to be open to criticism, because criticism comes regardless if you want to or not. It's going to come. Some of the biggest mistakes that we see right here: no clear goal. A lot of people are like, okay, I want to do video. Yeah, I want to do marketing. Like, okay, what's the goal? What's a win? Because if you just do a video and post it up, you're like, okay, what was the intention with that? Because we've seen it with across the board with hundreds of businesses that we've dealt with. So it's, what's the goal? Sometimes it might be better not to post, because you might post something that goes against your brand, and it just degrades your brand. So what's the goal? Inconsistency. Say going back to the social media stuff, you make a post and then you don't post anything for a month. And then you're like, I don't get no business. And then you make another post because you got frustrated that you didn't get any business. So you're like, let me go make 3 posts in a row. And you make 3 posts in a row, and then nobody saw it again because you've been away for it so long. And it's just like a never-ending thing of inconsistency. And the same thing with video. If you make one video, like I said, your first video is going to be your worst. But if you just make one video like, oh, nobody liked it, nobody shared it, I'm just going to stop. So you just have to keep trugging along, and it sucks. And even me, to this day, we have videos that fail all the time. And so that's the whole thing. We're always experimenting on our own self. Like all the advice that I tell the businesses to do, it's something that we've already tried. Like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, try doing this video when I haven't tried. I'll be like, yeah, probably not. Chasing irrelevant trends on social media. That's a huge one. Again, we go back to the one, do you wanna get a 10,000 views, no business? Or 100 views and get some business from it? Because me personally, I'm pretty committed to it. Erick wants me to do TikTok dances. I'm not down for it. That's not me. So sometimes too, if we do that, it might be funny and stuff for a while, but then we're like, what's the goal? Like, is it gonna make me more business? Or sometimes, I'm not saying don't have a good time, but you just kind of have to really know what route you wanna go with it. Or what was the intention? Maybe you have a whole thing and it starts jumping and you get more business from it. But just kind of have some sort of, don't just wing it. Showing the human side of the business. It's a tough one because us, just like as human beings, it's hard to be on camera because we're gonna be self-critical of our coworkers, our friends, or just other people out there, right? But they're not in your business. And if you came in business, it's because you're really good at what you do. So it's like, why not tell people more about it, right? Most of us were in business because we wanna provide for our families, have a good life, and help some people, right? So people knowing less about us, you're gonna help less people, you're gonna make less money, you're gonna change less lives, if that's your mission statement. For us, me personally, I'm introverted, honestly, but I made a decision a long time ago that like, if I wanna help some people, change some lives, help some people empower the small businesses, like, just like Erick, run it, turn it on, let's go. And sometimes I look dumb on camera, but it's okay, you just learn. You just learn through the way. Broken Ferrari. Out here we're rural, so we'll say Duramax. Duramax would probably be good. So you're in a Ferrari, but you're cruising 30 miles an hour. The speedometer says you can go 200, but you're going 30. And why does it only go 30? Because you don't have the right strategy for it to go full. It's pretty much governed, and that's all it's going. It can't go faster. And that's for us, like in our business, like, okay, you feel like you're burnt out, you feel like you're maxed out, you're working 25 hours a day and it still's not at where you want it to be. So you're like, okay, what do I need to do different? Or where do I need to allocate my time differently? Like, okay, a lot of our business is coming from our website. Okay, how could I make my website better? Or it's coming from social media, from our ads. Like, okay, how could we run more ads? How could we always test stuff? A big red flag that we've noticed too is when us as business owners, I include myself, is when we think we got our marketing figured out. Because if you got it figured out, that means we're not testing new things. And marketing is a constant testing and testing. And once you get one figured out, cool. Put a check on that one, and let's save that one, but let's go test something different now. Couple takeaways right here for you guys. Start small. Everybody is always like, okay, what platform should I be on? Should I be on TikTok because it's the new thing? Should I be on Instagram? Should I be on Facebook? And I always say, choose one platform. Just get one, get really good at that, because then you can invite other people to go check out your other ones. Do one and get really good at that. But then the one that you do choose, really know who your avatar is and where they're at. Because don't say, I'm gonna just be on Instagram just because it's your favorite platform, but it's not really making you more business because maybe your people are on TikTok or maybe they're on Facebook. Out here, for us, it's Facebook. And a lot of people would be like, no, it's probably TikTok because that's where the trendy stuff is and all that. Yeah, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Our TikToks do really good for like giving tips and stuff like that. But for people to like other video pros or other concrete pros and stuff like that. But for business to get dollars in is Facebook. So you really just got to define, okay, and this season of the business, which one do I want to do? Do I want to go more on this side, or do I want to go more, maybe make some dollars and be able to have somebody to help you grow the other side? So choose one. Don't try to be on every single one. If you have the bandwidth, go for it, but get really good at one first. Consistency over perfection. Everybody always wants to have the perfect video, whatever the excuse is that we're kind of telling ourselves is. Some of my videos, I mean, we do videos, like that's our main product, our main service that we do, but some of my best videos are when I just get the camera and I just start walking like, hey guys, this is what we going on today, X, Y, Z, and just run it. Those do better than the other ones with no music, no nothing. But it's a mixture of both because we're committed on doing the personal brand with the business brand. So it just really depends, again, full circle, what's the win look like? But just having something up there, telling people what you do is gonna be better than them not knowing anything. Get a 90-day plan and just kind of be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for the next 90 days, whether it's gonna like get a new brand video, website update, get a couple videos from like customers, testimonials, something. Don't do this whole plan like, I'm gonna do this for the next year, I'm committed on doing this. Like just do 90 days. Because then after the 90 days, you can be like, okay, this worked, this didn't work. Sometimes we set our goals like way too far out, and then it was like 2 weeks in and we didn't hit them, and so now we're kind of frustrated. One of my favorite quotes is, people lie, numbers don't. So look at the numbers. Say if you're putting content out there on your website, you can see, okay, who went to your website? You can see where your videos are coming from, where most people are coming from to make a purchase. Which videos did the best? Which ones did they comment on? Like the numbers are there. It's pretty much just reading the data, seeing where it goes, and then just revamping, reevaluating, and going from there. That's all I got for you guys. Planting seeds, getting leads. Appreciate it.